So, stream is going to be super long. I just want to show up. I'm feeling good. Um, as some of you guys know, I've been I've been sick for a while, and it being COVID, it's kind of like one of the inevitabilities of teaching kids all the time is that even I've been masked for 2 months, and I removed my mask for an event to drink tea at, and I got sick a couple days later. So one lapse of judgment there. I should have just not had anything to drink, but that's okay. It happens. So just wanted to bring you guys. I'm drinking a mystery puer. It's a mini taucha from Intergalactic Teas that I got today. Ugh. Um, as you can see, there's still a little bit of snow hither and thither, but like nothing crazy. Um, but we will not be doing any more like making videos for the next firing. Um, so the next firing is in April. It's actually, I think we scheduled it for like the last weekend of March. And so I will be gone. I'm going to go hike in Spain next weekend for like a week and a bit. And so I won't have any time to make anything, obviously, while I'm gone. I have no interest in making anything this week because I just don't want to be in the studio. I probably will make some stuff that's not true. On Tuesday, I have a class. I'll probably make something. But I'm not planning on doing anything extreme. So, something I'm going to do today, though, is I have my double-walled heart pots, and I'm going to take a black underglaze, and I'm going to have a black highlighted heart around the hearts on the other pots. So I think that should be really cool. Really thrilling stuff, I know. So anyway, it'll be great. Everything will be awesome. So I'm just happy though. I've never had COVID before. It really knocked me out pretty hard. And I just tested negative like 5 seconds ago, so we're good to go. Hi, I'm in New England. Where are you? I also got a new phone case, so the video should be slightly clearer, maybe. I don't really know. I'm going to move you guys to hang out with little dog soon. Hi. How are ya? Oh my God. That's awesome. I haven't been to England for many a year. I actually don't think I've been to England since I was like 6 or 7. I was little last time I was there. Obviously not counting like flying through Heathrow. Is Heathrow in England? I'm just out of it now. Who knows? What are you guys up to today? Tell me everything. Oh, just drinking tea out of one of my black clay tea bowls with a Shino on top. Kind of came out a little bit just okay. It's one of my go-to cups, but I don't think I would ever have sold this thing. Not quite up to par with everything. I thought it was. I remember, I feel like there was like a big trip. I was coming back from somewhere and I got caught up in Heathrow because there was some serious thing happening and I can't really remember. I think I was coming back from India, maybe. I'm not sure. You did a 10K? Hell yeah! Oh my God, I'm so out of shape. Like I'm telling you guys right now, I'm hiking the GR221 in Spain next weekend, and it's like, I think if you factor in all the like little huts and stuff that you're gonna stay at, I think it ends up being like 97 miles that I'm gonna do in 6 days. And I am out of shape because I've been sick in bed with COVID for like a week, and then I just haven't been in good shape in general. So I don't know. it is what it is. You got to pay extra for that, Jacob. His name's Michael. Wink. Why you pretending not to be my husband, my sweet boy? But I'm aggressively out of shape, so hopefully it all works out and I don't die. But I might. So if I don't show up again after next week or after at the end of April, if I don't come back, I probably died. I mean, who isn't, unfortunately? And yeah, so I'm very excited for the new heart pots, though. Um, so we're going to be dealing with that later today. I think that'll be really nice. Um, I'm really excited for like moving in a cutesier direction. Um, Michael, you got to at least like go off of the bit. I said something very funny, and you then just like kept going on with your predetermined writing. Nah, I'm not trying to get married. Thanks. It was a really cheap Columbia jacket I could get. I needed something quickly that was super lightweight when I was hiking through Iceland, and I found this thing for like 25 bucks. There's holes in it. I burned holes through it from my fire all the time. It's one of those things. It's the whole finagle, but it's a nice color. I really like yellow, yellow, pink, all those fun things. Oh, right, a huge deal. Well, I should look aged. I'm 68, so I should look my age at this point. Little dog, would you like a cookie? There you are. So anyway, yeah, right. I know. I got a pretty sweet deal. Um, I wish that. I mean, it's cinched at the bottom and everything. Um, I feel like there was something I didn't like about it, but I just it's awesome. I do wish it had like a zip here, but thanks, King. Is he cute, James? Do you think he'll like me? So besides all the guys who are hitting on me pretty aggressively, may say, how's everybody else doing? Tell me about your day. I want to hear everything. No, I'm not 68. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a bummer. I'm glad that this little one. I don't know if you can see her. I'll move the camera so you can see her at some point. She after the first like 6 months of having her, she hasn't been destructive at all. But all the jackets I had from like 8 years ago when I first got her, 7 years ago. How long have you been here, little dog? Like 7 years, 7.5 years. Um, all my pockets have holes in them. Her name's Olive. Thanks, Marty. Oh my god, you guys are so good to me. Olive, do you want to come say hi? Here, she'll come say hi. Up you go, please. Well, at least her butt will say hi. Okay, up you go. Good girl. Anyway, there she is. Cute. What kind of dog? I looked handsome. Thanks, Dynamic. Oh my God, so good to me. Man, yeah. Like I said, I've been looking like shit for the last couple of weeks because I've had COVID, and I'm also just like aggressively out of shape. Granted, I have been snowboarding a ton. I took a little snowboarding job this year, so that's been doing something at least. Sone, what's up, dude? How are you? Enjoy the lunch. It depends on what you're trying to do, I guess, Secret. So uh, it can be. It can certainly be hard. But if you're just trying to like have fun, I think everything's relative. So um, it's not easy. I will say that, right? The little bear belt, she's so fast, and we have so many bears here. Um, it's just nice to be able to track her and also keep her, um, keep the bears away. Right, little dog? Such a good little guard dog. Oh my God. She's having little pieces of bison at the moment. Bison and egg. So, not too shabby. Oh, it's Sunday today, isn't it? For some reason, I thought it was Monday. But the snowboarding gig has been awesome. Um, I just essentially get paid to go snowboarding 3 days a week, sometimes 4 days. I had to bail out last week, obviously, from being sick. But we also had 2 snow days, which was a shame because I wasn't able to do that. But um, dynamic, they can be whatever you want them to be. I don't understand the question, though, I'm afraid. Oh hell yeah! So please do zone because I'm not gonna remember, but I would love to see. Oh hell yeah! What kind of stuff did you make? I had COVID, so I literally just like 5 minutes ago tested. I literally just took another test like before this live stream happened, and I'm finally negative. But yeah, I kind of did. I've been like curled up in bed, like dying for a week, and then the week prior, I was like, I didn't realize I had COVID, but I was like super out of it. Um, it was not great. I've never had it before either. There's Zone. Nice seeing you. No, this is my actual eye color. Yeah, they changed from blue to green to gray to yellow. Usually, and I'm excited to feel better because I can start wearing contacts again because I'm so not used to not having sunglasses on. My eyes hurt so bad all the time just being in bright light. I can't handle it. So, but yeah, SWAT never had COVID before, and it's been super brutal. Yeah, it sucks. I'm not a fan. Exactly like Gremlin. Layer dynamic. Yeah, it was definitely brutal. I was like in the fetal position, just like curled up, having like like I was just frozen. I was so cold all the time. I had such a chill and I had such a fever. Um, it was brutal. Um, I would take it over any of my back pain though. I will say that like it sucked to be sick and everything, but my back pain that I've had over the years has been so much worse. Like I can move around, and now it's gone. So um, I can't I can't even really complain. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. I'm always in pain, so it's hard to say. Well, that's just how my body feels all the time anyway. How do you know, Mickey? And so like whenever I get in pain, I do a lot of stretching, and then I um, always do like soft workouts as soon as I feel capable, because that always mitigates some of the pain for me. Yeah, I'm like genuinely in pain most days, so I don't even like register minor pain anymore. Well, so I don't really eat food to begin with. I drink tea until 4 p.m. and then I have one smallish meal, and that's all I eat every day. So I'm kind of already intermittent fasting. Damn, Donnie, I'm sorry. How are you feeling? Appreciate it. So, well, you probably weren't in here when I was saying, but I leave on Sunday to go hike the GR221 in Spain, and I am like super out of shape. And I think I'm doing like 94 miles in 6 days, and it's like 27,000 feet of elevation, something like that. And I'm like really out of shape. So, nah, Mickey, I'm not an Earl Grey guy. Oh, I'm sorry, Donnie. That sucks. Oh yeah. Would you like TV? Would you like to see Olive? Here, let me grab some cookies. Olive, come on. Up you go, please. Up you go. Yep. Big jumps. Big jumps. You got this. Get that butt up here. Okay, settle down, please. Settle down, please. Good job. There's a cookie for you. Yeah. Oh, and she's gone. She's not a lap dog. She's been so great while I've been sick. She's been so snuggly and so supportive. Um, yeah, it's been intense. Pilot, my back pain mainly comes from like splitting wood all the time. I so I fire my stuff in a wood kiln, and so I hand split all my wood. And for years, I would hand split 5 cords of wood just for my kiln. That doesn't account for my studio and like other miscellaneous things. I'm always having a fire. Like I'm having a fire right now. I have a fire every day, um, except for like peak summer where it's too hot, and sometimes there's a fire ban and stuff like that. Um, but I've gotten a lot better. I even bought myself a electric log splitter for. It doesn't do the big rounds. It doesn't even turn them into fourths, but it takes the fourths down to sixths, eighths. So it makes my back just a little bit better. Um, yeah, Mickey, you got to switch out. Tea's where it's at. You want to buy. The problem is that there's like only shitty tea unless you know a guy. My guy is he's in Michigan, and his business is called Whispering Pines Tea. Highly recommend him stuff, but then you need the right kind of pottery, Mickey. So yeah, so I have a wood splitter now, and it's saved my back. I got it last year, and so I still have to split a lot by hand, but it's made a huge difference. Hi. Huge difference. And then the other thing is that my my kiln is a coffin kiln. So so if I buy wood, he sells me blocks. But I cut my own wood most of the time. I live on 32 acres, so a lot of the time I'm just cutting my own wood for firings. But I do supplement from if I want to mitigate some of the back pain, I do buy a cord. So I just got a cord delivered the other day, but a lot of hickory this time. Hickory and ash is what he sent me this time. So I'm excited. I've never actually fired my kiln with hickory before, so I'm curious how it goes. But hell yeah, Dynamic, what do you like? But he's got me a great deal. Since I buy so much wood from him, or I have over the years, he's never really upped my price. So I'm paying $260 for a cord of wood. So it's like it's almost worth just not even cutting my own wood and just buying it from him to save the back pain. Granted, I still have to cut all that stuff that he gives me, but I can do all that with my log splitter. So that's huge. Yeah, well, so the issue, so the reason he sent me hickory, gave me hickory this time is that a guy ordered 30 cords of hickory for a smoking business, and then my wood dealer had a bunch of issues with his machinery and stuff, and so by the time he got everything running and there was no snow and he could actually operate everything, the guy backed out because he said it was too dry for smoking. And so he only bought 10 cords. So my guy's stuck with 20 cords of hickory. And I actually like wood slightly wetter because so it's really nice to have dry wood up to 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. But after 2000 degrees Fahrenheit, when you're throwing in wood that is bone dry, it instantly combusts and it shoots a flame back at your face. But if you throw in either bigger logs or slightly wet ones, they don't immediately combust. So you can actually put wood in and not have it like come at your face. So, you know, it's that whole kind of thing. Anyway, so the other reason the back pain is there is that I built myself a coffin kiln. In a coffin kiln, you have to physically get inside to load. Um, and I use silicon carbide, half-inch silicon carbide shelves. Some of them are 3/4 inch, and each shelf is 12 by 24 and weighs 20 pounds each. And I have to load the kiln like this, straight armed. And so if I bend my back at all, it screws it up hard. And so I've gotten good at loading and all that kind of stuff, but it is a bit of a sketchier situation where I just have to be very diligent about how I'm loading the kiln. I always wear a back brace, but I just have to make sure I'm straight backed and whatever. So got to work on forearm strength and all that kind of stuff to kind of help with lessening the back strain. So today, outside of us just drinking tea together, we're also going to look at my maple tree bucket, see if we can get any water out today. Maybe we'll do that right now. I'm kind of curious if we got any. It's kind of warm today, but it's not like crazy. I'd be psyched if we got like a gallon of water from this tree. So let's take a gander. So this is my kiln down here, by the way. And this is my maple tree that I get I only have one on the property. I used to have more, but let's see if I got any water in here. Oh, hell yeah, we do. And we got some bugs too. Cool. I'm just trying to get as much maple syrup as I can because by the time I get back from Spain, the yeah, I gotta love some bug water. By the time I get back from Spain, the maple tree will have budded, and I don't want to get the water anymore. So oh yeah, yeah, I forgot that you're kind of in that area there. He's amazing, super great guy. If you follow him on Instagram, he's such a hoot. He just does like backflips on slack lines and like does handstands all the time, and he like drinks tea upside down and does a bunch of cool stuff. He's a really fascinating dude. He's been my go-to tea dealer for almost a decade now. Really, really great guy. He's also who supplements all or sends all the tea for my tea services that I have every month, which I had to postpone this tea service, which was annoying because I was sick. But Win, what's up? How are you? I'm gonna quickly pee in a bush, and I'm gonna have you guys looking out at what I see for a second. Actually, I'm gonna have you looking at Olive for a second. Olive, go to bed, please. That's a good girl. All right, give me a sec. Go pee in a bush. Don't watch me. Or unless you want to. I guess I should probably take my headphones out. Nah, you guys are just gonna have to listen to me pee. It's free this time, but you'll have to pay next time. So I feel bad. I'm peeing on essentially like on a sculpture of my aunt's here, but there's not really anywhere else to do this, so just fine. It fell off the tree, and I don't really want to touch it because it's her thing. She had initially put it up onto the tree, and it has now come off. But thrilling stuff, I know. The fun part is I'm not even going to show you guys what I'm looking at as much as I want to. I love that it's just kind of like falling down. started to get kind of buried into the pine groves. Oh wait, where'd you not want to sit up by your fan base? Here, back up you, come on. There's some cookies for such a good girl. All right, and I'm back. So Olive is the best studio dog. She is so good. She's with me all the time. She puts up with all my shit. I'm so impressed by her, honestly. Is the ice melted? No, there's tons of ice. Um, the ice is even worse today because it froze last night. It's gonna get real bad today because it feels hot-ish, and then it's supposed to get down to like 8 degrees tonight, Fahrenheit. And so I think it's gonna get pretty gnarly pretty quickly. But oop. But what a day. It's just nice not to be sick anymore. I've been like, ooh, I got an avocado. A pocket avocado. Can't go wrong with that. Gotta make sure you have your avocado in your pocket. Yeah, right? I mean, yesterday was awesome. I mean, it was like a spring day. Okay, so Spain. It's supposed to be like high 60s during the day and then low 50s at night. It's gonna be so nice. Um, it's my full-time job when though I'm not really popular enough to actually make it a full-time job. Though I have managed to do it full-time since 2018. I'm not entirely sure how. I don't spend money. I think that's really how, because there's so little money with it. Um, I don't know what that means, Danny. You a good hiker, Swa? Roland, of course I have. Yeah, I've showed you guys this cup before. It's not like the most exciting cup. Um, this is a weird one. So this is actually a double-walled piece, but I just use it as a treat bowl for Olive. Literally no reason for it to be double-walled. So it's not all at once though. So like it's 20, I don't know what I said, 27,000 feet, 22,000 feet, between 22 and 27. But it's not like it's like you're going up that high. It's like that's over the span of 6 days. I think the highest like actual peak that we'll ever be at is like 5,000 feet. I don't do well. Have I told you guys the story where I almost died in Peru? I'm going to tell you again anyway, just in case I haven't said it before. So I don't do well in high elevation, it turns out. Didn't know this. So, yep. Things don't blow up in kilns. That's a myth, James. So I was hiking through Peru with an ex and her sister. This is years ago. And we were going from Cusco, which I think the elevation starts at like 10,000 feet. And then we were going up to, I think it was like 18,500 feet. And then back down to Machu Picchu. So it was like a couple day trip that we were hiking and camping and stuff at. And it was really fun, but I already was not feeling great because of the high elevation in Cusco. And oh, really? Oh, then you would literally die. So Cusco, I've been before. So my cousin is Peruvian. So I went down to his wedding years ago and I almost died in Cusco and I like kind of forgot about this. And so I went back. That's another story that I'm going to tell after this one about him. Not about him necessarily, but about my aunt who, whatever, we'll talk about in a second. So anyway, I'm hiking from Cusco to Machu Picchu. We get up to like 18,500 feet. And as we're getting up to this really peak part, I uh we got to this peak part. I like was vomiting like every 5 feet, 6 feet, and I'm like trying to hike up. My vision's blurry. I'm like wobbling around. I'm lucky I have good hiking poles, so I don't just like keel over and die at the spot. And um, we just decided to like camp in this old ruin for the night. And a guide comes by because some people chartered. I don't charter guides and things. I just do all these by myself or with a friend or whatever. His guide came with these chartered people, and he had like a little oxygen thing on me. My oxygen levels were at like 63, and he was like, "You're gonna die unless you don't get down like soon." And he's like, "Sleep through the night, and then just book it up." It was faster to go all the way up to the peak and then down than it would have been to backtrack all the way down to back to Cusco. So like, I'm booking it up. My ex brings my backpack up to the very tip top, and then she heads back down to her sister to pack up camp and stuff like that. And then I get my gear, and I am not a fast downhill climber. I'm much faster going uphill, and I am booking it down. Um, and I get all the way down till I feel better. And altitude sickness is an interesting one because it like immediately once you are lower than the threshold or whatever that you can actually feel, it just goes away. It just instantly disappears. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. So I'm feeling good finally, and I'm waiting. And then this is going to morph into a story about Olive a little bit to a degree. So my knows that I'm not a good downhill hiker, so she's like, "We're gonna catch up." She was really fast downhill. It was vice versa how we were speedy, and I'm waiting down there. She and her sister are like full panicking that I died somewhere behind a rock, and so they like keep stopping and like looking behind rocks to make sure I didn't like keel over and die somewhere. And as they do this, there's this dog that comes out of nowhere, and they named the dog Will Number Two. And then this dog found me eventually before they did, and then just hung out with me, and then literally hiked from where we were there all the way to Machu Picchu over like 4 days. It would disappear for like maybe 5 or 6 hours at a time, and then it would come back, but it was like literally there the entire time. And after that, I was like, okay, I could get a dog. Um, and that was 7.5 years ago or something around there, because I got all of almost as soon as we got back. So that was a fun time. And then I was gonna say it was a good trip, but I did almost die. Your oxygen levels are supposed to be at like 92. Mine were at 63, something like that. It was bad. You can take drugs if you know you're going to be in a high elevation that like prior to going to the trip. I didn't know that at the time. I know that now. So, but this trip, again, the highest elevation is like 5,000 feet, 4,800 feet. So I think it'll be fine. I'm not actually concerned. Yeah. Oh no, I'm just I've lucked out too many times on many adventures. Um, it's the I'm not Irish. Technically, I guess there's more Scottish in me than anything because my grandmom's from Scotland, or ancestrally from Scotland. But I'm born on St. Patty's Day, and I can find 4 clovers like that. Found hundreds of thousands of them through my life at this point. So I've got some built up luck going on, you know. Anyway, so going back to my aunt, for the first time I was there, so she joined the Peace Corps in her 20s, and she built a pottery industry for a like a little town called Oxapampa in the Peruvian jungle near Machu Picchu, kind of like at the base. And she stayed for 12 years, married another guy who was also um, in the Peace Corps. They had a kid, my cousin, who now has like 3 or 4 kids of his own, and he owns a gelato shop in Lima, in Peru. Um, but kind of a fun thing. Luckily, it was nice to see him the other day. He came. My aunt lives in Massachusetts, so they all came down to hang out, and it's nice to meet some of the cousins that I haven't. Second, what would they be? Second cousins cousins once removed. I don't know, whatever their relationship is. It'd be nice to see my cousin and his kids and all that. But oh, is it really? That's cool. I've been meeting more and more people with my birthday. Last year, my birthday kind of sucked. I did not enjoy it, which is partially why I am doing this trip this year. It, I've never really liked my birthday, and it was just kind of a serious bummer last year. Yeah, I know. I'm just curious about the actuality behind it, or like the actual term behind it. Um, oh, it's turning into a lovely day right now. Boy, oh boy. I think we had people. I appreciate it. My not to talk shit about my ex, but I'm going to for a half a second. She would always leave to go on like a backpacking trip with her sister on my birthday every year, except for the first year that we were dating when we went to Peru together, all three of us. Every other year, she would literally like leave on my birthday for like a couple weeks. Uh, it's fine. Um, but it was a weird move. I was never invited. Yeah, like actually, yeah. Um, and then we get really mad if we didn't do anything like grandiose for her birthday. Um, so I don't know, whatever. It's fine. That really. She's married um, at this point now. I think we broke up like 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. So it's been a while. But we were together for 6 years, and only one of those six during those 6 years, she actually was there for my birthday. Um, yeah, I mean, she's great. I'm glad that she's found her path and all that kind of stuff. But I will say that one um, kind of a bummer. Um, it would have been just nice to go on the trips, I guess. But you know what I mean. So I don't know. Whatever. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have Olive with me. So and a bunch of other things. So like I have no ill will. Um, but I do like to rag on her every so often about stuff like that. Um, so I was going through a rabbit hole like I do on shoes this time. First, it was rain gear. Um, and I, instead of buying new rain gear, I just bought a DWR spray on stuff. So I've re-waterproofed all my gear. Um, but I was looking at these really cool, like full zip rain pants that you can put over your pants without taking anything off, so they're not slide on. But I don't know if I want to spend 125 bucks on new gear. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm on. I think I talked to most of my exes. I can only think of one who doesn't really want to talk to me, and I'm not entirely sure why. Um, I do know she thought that it was too soon for me to start seeing someone after we broke up, but we had been together for a year, and I started dating someone like 8 months after we had broken up. So I don't know what she's talking about. So it is what it is. So anyway, so rain pants. I found these really cool full zip rain pants. I don't really want to spend 125 bucks on them, and that's on sale. So it's like I probably should. But then I was like looking up new hiking boots, and I was like, do I want to do trail runners? Do I want to do hiking boots? Went down this whole rabbit hole. I found ones that I really wanted, but they're discontinued. And so I think I just have to keep an eye out for the right gear, you know? Oh, yeah, I know. Agreed. Um, so I don't know. Um, uh, yeah, I think I got everything ready to go. Oh. So I bought, hi, Natalie, you just came in for the best thing I'm going to say all day. I bought myself an ultra lightweight poop shovel that has dehydrated toilet paper and then mycelium tablets in it, with the thought process of growing mushrooms in your poop so it biodegrades faster. I mean, I don't know if it actually does anything, like it actually grows or whatever the case is, but the conceptually, I love the idea. Yeah, I realized that I've never owned a poop shovel. I always just use a stick. But I was like, I was actually when I was looking stuff up, it wasn't for that. It was for like good packable toilet paper. Um, I understand that I could just like I always have. I've just rolled up toilet paper and put it in a bag. But I was just kind of curious if someone had come up with something cool. Yeah, the whole shovel is it's like half the size of this matchbox, and it weighs like 23 grams, fully loaded with the toilet paper and everything. It like weighs nothing, and it is super small. Um, so I'm like, why not? It's something I would use um, outside of this one trip. So um, try it out. I also always travel with a life straw. I'm a big fan of those things. They don't last very long, but I think they're pretty cool. And I always end up using them quite often. So, and they're cheap. They're like $20. So it seems like a nice thing to have a nice bit of water purity. I was also contemplating this year. I was gonna bring like a 34 ounce Nalgene. That's usually my go-to backpacking water situation. But I was also then contemplating maybe just bringing a filter head and then just buying a screw, like just a big Nalgene of water, and having a filter system in that, so I can just drink from there, because that's more packable and things like that. And I do really like ultralight traveling, so I haven't quite. I need to figure this out sooner because I leave in 7 days, so I need to figure out if I want to do that or just do the Nalgene situation like I was planning on. I like the big Nalgenes though. Having 34 ounces of water is just really nice. Because a lot of the time, I find that for a big hike, big day hike, which a lot of these, I think most of the hikes I'm doing are 16-mile days. Some of them are 22-mile days, and I'm doing the back to back. And sometimes it's just nice to have that much water on you. Even though the other ones are more packable, there is something nice about not dying. Everything else, I have my rain gear is not ultralight, but I was looking at new rain jackets, and it's hard to justify spending money on a new gear when they don't need to, when you don't have to. You know what I mean? Um, so anyway, that's my whole spiel. I think I've been on here way longer than I thought. I'm gonna show you guys Olive again for a little bit, and then right. I mean, that's how I feel too. I like to use my gear until it's fully dead. But then it's also like, do you have gear specific for things? And I'm like, I don't think whatever. I don't think I'm gonna bother. Oh, you know it, Yan. Important thing to have in the toolkit. Well, it's not that important. You can just use a stick, honestly. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll probably do a live stream when I have to glaze my pots this week. So I'll see you then. And if I don't see you then, I'll see you in April. Okay. Bye, guys. Yeah, that I'm not sure. I'm going to try Swab, but we'll see. Later.